Hi, welcome back. Today we're talking about the R word, regulation. Dodd-Frank, Volcker Rule, Basel III, UCITS 4, EMIR, Market Abuse Directive. Pretty much whatever your role in financial markets these days, you're going to be faced with a wall of noise, all of which has to be interpreted and turned into effective practices within your organization. But how good a job are the regulators actually doing in all of this? And when will the picture become clear so we can all actually get back to our day jobs? And more importantly, when all the regulatory dust has settled, will we actually be any better off? Of course, many of these sorts of regulations have actually been in place for some time, but it was really Dodd-Frank in the USA that lit the blue touch paper in terms of trying to reform markets in the wake of the global financial crisis in 2008. The aim, of course, was to try and set the regulatory agenda for the rest of the world to follow. Unfortunately, when they turned around to check that the rest of the world was following, they found either they weren't or they were going in a completely different direction altogether. To make matters worse, we're also seeing greater politicization of the regulatory process. Lawmakers around the world have worked out that it's good news to be seen to be trying to solve the world's financial problems. The only problem is they don't even understand the questions they're asking sometimes, let alone the answers. And finally, how do the regulators actually affect change? To my mind, they need to stay out of the detail and shape the path. You only have to take OTC derivatives where regulators on both sides of the Atlantic are wringing their hands trying to work out which types of contracts should be traded on which types of platform. For me, a simple solution would be let market forces decide, create the most benign environment for the outcome you want, which is typically electronically traded and centrally cleared. Sit back and let market forces do all the hard work. So when will we see some clarity on the regulatory picture? Well, pessimists would point you at the Glass-Steagall Act, introduced in 1933 right after the Great Depression, which was tinkered around with and debated and eventually repealed 50 years later. Personally, I don't think you'll have to wait as long as that, but don't hold your breath either. And finally, of course, the big elephant in the room is what does this mean to the retail investor? Most of us are passive investors in markets through our pension funds or other investment vehicles. And to date, there seems to be little evidence that we're getting a better, clearer, or even cheaper deal. See you next time.